Hey Metalheads, rockige Grüße aus den Philippinen. Heute Sendung Nummer 42 und heute habe ich eine Legende hier. Ich freue mich wirklich, ich habe jetzt in den letzten fast 45 Minuten mit der Legende gesprochen. Super cool drauf, super, ja, der hat Bock zum Reden. Das wird heute ein Fest, meine Freunde, ein Run-Through seiner Karriere. Und ja, aber bevor es losgeht, erstmal Werbung. Und ein Dank an meine Sponsoren. Und dann let the beast begin. Die Metal is Forever Rockcast Show wird präsentiert von der Vegan Ashes of Rock'n'Roll. Veganer Lifestyle ist lebendiger Rock'n'Roll. Wir sind Rebellen. Wir sind Veganer. Wir lieben das Leben und leben es mit jeder Menge Spaß. Power Concerts Burg Lengenfeld. Wenn es um Konzerte geht, dann Power Concerts. Karten gibt es an allen bekannten Vorverkaufsstellen. Fliesenspitzner, die zuverlässige Handwerker für alle Aufgaben rund um das Verlegen von Fliesen, Platten, Mosaik und Naturstein. Schwammerhandler, Fanshop, Store and More, das aus dem bayerischen Wald. Dezi-Hell, Business Clothes for Rockers. Kein Fest ohne eine leckere Sposau. Deshalb, wenn es um Sposau geht, dann Hacks Sposau Grillerei. Wenn es um Cargo geht, dann Seidel Cargo, denn wir fahren auch Metal. Crazy Stuff Tattoo in Schwandorf, Tätowierer aus Leidenschaft. Dein Tattoo-Studio in privater Atmosphäre und für individuelle Tattoos. Luftraum Fürstenfeldbruck, die Rock- und Metal-Kneipe. Jede Woche von Donnerstag bis Samstag Rock und Metal vom Feinsten. Rock of Angels Records. Von Metal-Fans für Metal-Fans. The home of Rock and Metal. Roar! Ja, besten Dank an meine Sponsoren. Ohne euch läuft die Show nicht. Super. So, die Zahlen gehen nach oben. Das wollen wir doch, oder? Wir wollen, dass die Zahlen nach oben gehen. Natürlich hier im Chat. Und ihr könnt heute wieder schreiben. Es ist natürlich wieder ein Interview auf Englisch. Aber wenn ihr Fragen habt, ihr könnt sie auf Deutsch schreiben und ich werde sie euch übersetzen. Und Bayley wird es dann natürlich beantworten. Aber bevor es losgeht mit der Musik von Bayley, hier ist mein Einsteiger und der Support. Hier ist Mystic Prophecy und Metal Division.
like creatures in a night. Mental division, still stand fight. Mental division, like eagle in the sky. Mental division, free till of day and time.
Mystic Prophecy, Metal Division, geiler Anfang und ja, immer mehr werden's. Super, freut mich. Und jetzt ist Zeit für, ja, ich freue mich drauf, das Interview wie Schmitz Katze, liebe Freunde. Hier ist der erste Track von Mr. Blaze Bayley, Calling You Home.
I am calling you home. They don't
I'm calling you home, Blaze Bayley, and I'm calling you in. My friend, Blaze Bayley,
Hello!
good evening. Oh,
Hello!
holy shit.
What's happening? Why
It's
are you
happening in
phoning
the
me?
Philippines. Blaze, thank you so much for coming.
Thank
How
you,
are you?
Richie. Thanks for having me on the show. It's a great pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. And that first band, wow, they sound great. The Mystic Prophecy. What
Yes.
a great singer that guy is. And they have a great sound there. Really, really cool.
Yes. Leah, this is Leah, the singer. Hopefully he's on my show soon. We're working on it. He's great. Blaze, what an honor. For me, a legend. You are so long in the business. I know you, as a metalhead from the 80s, who don't know Blaze Bayley. But what I want to know, and the fans, of course, the humble beginnings. Always the first question for my guests, the humble beginning of Blaze Bayley, how everything started, even when you was a child. You was a singer when there was a child, or how everything started?
Well, the biggest and most important thing that happened to me was I used to work night shifts, and I lived in Birmingham, and Ronnie James Dio was doing the Holy Diver tour, and I went to see him, and it was wonderful. But when he sang Children of the Sea, something happened to me. There was some kind of spell cast upon me. And then I had to go to work after the concert. And I started I was working the night shift, and I started to think about my life. Do I still want to be working the night shift here and cleaning this hotel 10 years from now? And I thought, no, I want to be like Ronnie James Dio. I want to be a singer and tour the world with a band. And that was it, really. It was an epiphany. And the very next day, I thought of myself as a singer that was working a day job, waiting to, trying to make it. And I started writing a few of my own songs and my own ideas. And the local paper where my father lived was called the Tamworth Herald, and we had a great music page, and there were 20-something bands in Tamworth. It was a great music scene at that time, all different bands, from pop to heavy metal, and everybody played together, and it was a really cool vibe going on. And there was a small advert in the paper on the music page which said, "Heavy metal singer required, no experience necessary." And that's me. That is me. So
That's fucking Blaze Bayley.
yeah, I wasn't Blaze Bayley at that time, and I was just Bayley back then. And I went along to an audition, and it was Jace Edwards, the guitarist, and Jeff Haitley, the bass player. They were at school together, and they were both still at school, and they wanted to put this band together. And I think they chose me as the singer because no one else applied. And so I was lucky with that. And we got together and said, right, let's write 10 of our own songs, and then we can do a gig. And that's how we started, And in my early childhood, then we didn't have a TV. We had a radio and a record player and books. So when I was very young, then my mother would put all kinds of different artists on, but a lot of big singers. And I suppose somewhere that must have stuck with me. And when I was at school, I noticed that there were a lot of girls in the music room at lunchtime, and it was the choir. And I thought, so if I want to meet a lot of girls at school, I'll join the choir. So I joined the choir, and after 3 practices with the choir, they kicked me out. They said I was too loud. So I didn't have much hope, really, but I just wanted to be a singer so much. And then I started learning to sing. I'm not a natural singer. I'm not someone who has a huge amount of talent and it's all natural. I wanted to be a singer. I loved to sing. So I learned to sing, and I had different teachers and different vocal coaches over the years. When I got a problem, well, how do I do this, or how do I make my voice last longer? Then I would go to a different vocal coach, and every coach and singing teacher, they all have their own way of doing things and their own advice. And so what I feel is I took from each one, well, that thing actually does work for me. That thing does work for me. That thing that they said, that doesn't work. And slowly I've built my own technique and philosophy about singing. And that was how I started, really. I was the only guy that went for the audition as the Wolfsbane lead singer. And I got the job. I was better than nothing in the beginning.
So Ronnie James Dio is responsible that you are a singer.
Absolutely.
Really?
Many years later, I was making my first Wolfsbane album in Los Angeles at Sound City Studios, the famous studio. And I actually met Ronnie James Dio for the first time. And just such a wonderful, wonderful man. And he didn't know that I was a huge Dio fan. I had everything on vinyl going way back to Elf and the early days. So he didn't know that. And I would kind of be asking questions, kind of hinting a little bit about things. One of the things that he said on that first meeting was they used to turn up, Elf used to turn up at the gig with a huge truck full of equipment. And the promoter or the bar owner would say, after the sound check, they would say, "It's too loud. We can't have it that loud in this bar. You'll have to turn down." And Ronnie Dio would say, "Well, we are not turning down. So if you want us to turn down, we're not doing the show." And they would load the gear back up after the sound check and just go on to the next show. And, it was great, man. That first time I met my hero, he became an even bigger hero to me. And over the years, we met many times over the years, and it was always a lovely, lovely man, a huge inspiration. I remember being allowed to be on the side of the stage at the Wacken Festival where Ronnie was singing his own set, and you could hear him coming out of the monitors on the stage every so often. And it's like just wonderful, perfect, such a huge talent. So, he was a big influence on me.
You told me before you miss so much the fans. And now we have the opportunity, because now the fans writing to you here, and I start before we play music from Wolfsbane. Here is Michael Riewald. He was an organizer in 2014 from the Beast Festival.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was great, man. That was a great festival. I think we were acoustic that year in 2014, I think. But yeah, that was a great festival, the Beast Festival.
He's a legendary, the stage dive to the bar.
Oh, yeah, no, I think I was Full Metal that year. They picked me up, the fans picked me up off the stage and carried me all the way to the bar.
Yeah,
it was absolutely amazing.
This only happens in Germany, my friend.
Well,
And here's
yeah.
Melanie. Melanie, so you can greet all the
Hello,
fans now
Melanie.
directly.
How you doing? All right. Nice to see you.
And here is Caballero da Cruz, the king of metal. Yeah, they call it.
Yeah.
So-
Well, I had a song called The King of Metal, but it went wrong because people thought that I was saying I'm the king of metal, but I wasn't. If you listen to the song and listen to the lyrics of the song, it says you are the king of metal, and that's the fans. Fans make metal possible, not really the artists, it's fans. And the song was, I should have called it You Are the King instead of
Yes.
The King of Metal. So that was a mistake because people got the wrong idea.
So Harald Altenauer, he's greeting you from Southern Germany.
Hello, how you doing, Harold?
Then Melanie Zegertz, we are calling the Messiah. And we have somebody from France, even.
Hello, Melanie, how you doing? Hi. Hello, fans in France.
We are
Hello,
from
Brazil. Hello, fans in
Brazil.
Brazil. Oi,
This
to
is
the
a-
main Brazil.
So, Bauer Michael, metal greetings.
Hello.
Ellen Gureyan,
Hello,
Iron
Ellen.
Heike, she's
Oh,
always.
all right. How you doing? Nice to see you.
So you know her.
I hope you like the new album, Heike. I really do. It's very straightforward. It's a lot more like Silicon Messiah and Man Who Would Not Die. So I really hope that you'll enjoy the album.
So Ludwig Schmollover, also a big fan of my broadcast. He's always here.
Hello,
We call you-
Ludwig.
Servus is Bavarian. Say Servus. Servus
Servus.
is like Servus. Yeah, now I teach you Bavarian. You see.
Okay, great.
So we have here Sandra Kaduf.
Oh,
From
all right, Sunday. Hey, how you doing? Hope you two are okay.
Crispy Jones. He was in my show on Friday morning.
Yeah.
And a good friend of mine, he's the composer of the Metal is Forever intro. Jim Wallenberg in Sweden.
Hello, Jim. Yeah, I mean, Sweden Rock. Wow, man, that was huge. So cool to be on the same stage as Slayer. Really
And here's
cool
the
stage.
and here's the motherfucker of all. Here's Chaos. His name is Chaos. Call him motherfucker. He loves it.
Hello, Klaus. How you doing?
All right, when we have here Peter Krause. Now you see.
Hello, Peter. All right.
So Rachel Batch.
Ah, Rachel, how you doing? Nice to see you.
So we going on and on. The fans are writing.
How you doing, Jeff? All right.
Okay, so we are done, but let's say first music. Now we go way back, and hopefully, because it's a Geffen record, hopefully they're not bomb the show now, because sometimes the big companies in America, especially, they stop the screen. If it happens, please outside oder ihr da draußen, wenn es hot, I just cut it down to 140. Hopefully we go through. But American record companies, they are merciless, I tell you.
Yeah.
They
Well,
stop
the
stream.
advantage I have, Richie, is I'm very, very small, and I'm a tiny artist. I'm a cult figure. I'm underground. So really, most times, they just don't notice me.
Okay, but Wolfsbane maybe. Let's see.
Yeah.
Here's Wolfsbane, a short clip with Manhunt and young Blaze Bayley. Very handsome man. You called yourself before handsome, so now you have it.
We had to get up at 4 a.m. to make that video. We did it around dawn. We had to do it when it was very quiet because in Los Angeles, you've got to get permission from everyone and his dog to do any filming at all. And so we didn't get permission from anybody. We just wandered around with the camera miming to the song. And the boss of our record company, Deaf American, he said to the guy that was filming us, look, if they get arrested, make sure that you film it. So, yeah, there was a real danger of getting arrested because they arrest you for filming without permission. So it was a fun video to make, even though we had to get up early, and it was nice, man. It was a nice time making that album.
How was it for you when you went for first time from Birmingham to Los Angeles, which was in this time was mayhem, right?
Culture shock. It's a culture shock because I think the worst thing is when you go around Europe, you're in a different country, they speak a different language. It's obvious as a different culture. You go to California, they speak a similar language. They got a lot of their own words. They speak a similar language, but their culture is radically different. The difference in culture between California and Germany, you know, as somebody British and being in Germany, the culture is very similar, but the culture with California is much more different. But because they speak a bit of English, you think it's the same. And that's the culture shock. Things are so different, man. The values, everything, it's really different. So that took a little while to get used to. But of course, you know, we really liked skateboarding, and Steve Danger in particular was quite a good skateboarder, and I enjoyed skateboarding as well. And next to the rehearsal room was skates, and they made skateboards. I don't know if they're still going. And I've still got my skateboard from the first album. We went just next door, and they made the skateboards together for us, you know, and gave us a really cheap price. And whenever they were going to go and skate pools, you know, when people were emptying their pool and having a pool, people would look out in the neighborhood, skateboarders, and then they would send a message or get in touch with their friends and say, their pool is empty, let's go out, you know, and they would skate in people's pools. So it was fun. Once we got used to that culture, I think, you know, it was okay.
You mentioned Germany. How important is Germany for you?
Well,
as a touring artist?
Important. It's very important, really. And one of the things about the German fans is they don't give you anything that you don't earn. And when you first play in Germany, when I first played there, you think, wow, this is a tough crowd. But yes, it is a tough crowd because the German fans really listen and they really pay attention to the music. For the German fans, it's not enough that you're good looking, jumping up and down and dancing and whatever. The German fans, they listen to the music. They want to know if you're a good musician. They want to know that you're worthy of their support. And
yes,
once the German fans give you their support, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. What you get back from the German fans is incredible. And they're so loyal as well. They've stuck with me for years. So, you know, it's a place that I wanted to be successful in Germany ever since I toured there with Motorhead on the Christmas metal meetings, and so many wonderful places and wonderful reactions from fans. I loved the culture and the food there, and I really wanted to be a success in Germany after that. And we did a little bit of touring with Voivod as well in Wolfsbane. And one of the reasons that we felt we didn't get further in Wolfsbane is we just didn't have the opportunity to come to Germany and play small shows of our own. And we always wanted to do that. We loved it there. It wasn't that we didn't want to come. We did want to come, but the record company, the way things worked at the time, we just weren't able to do what we wanted. Now, for me, I'm independent. I am the record company. I'm tiny, but I'm totally independent, supported by the fans. Now I get to play quite a few shows in Germany, and I even sell out small shows in Germany and play 2 nights in the same place. So it's very, very cool. I wouldn't have expected that, but I think with the German audience, people aren't afraid of old school. They're not afraid of old school. They don't care how big the venue is. What they care is it good? Is a performance good? Does it sound good?
Yeah. I read the last couple of days, always again, and this Mikkel Scheffel, I just put it on screen, the live record of Wolfsbane, Massive Noise Injection.
Yeah.
It's must. What do you say about this album?
It's insane. It's an insane album. It's absolutely insane. We were mixing that album at a studio in Birmingham, and I don't know how this happens, but we were so out of control when we were mixing it that the police came round to the studio to tell us to stop. That's how crazy it was when we were mixing a live album. So it was insane. And, you know, and I remember that the producer, he put this sound up. He goes, Jace, he said, what do you think of that for your guitar sound? And Jace Edwards, the guitarist, said, oh, it's really good. And the producer said, that's the mic on the snare drum. That's how crazy it was, man. It was massive. Oh, and you know, I remember the producer, Simon Effermy, very talented guy, very, very talented guy. I remember that about 50% of the time he would be doing this as he was trying to get the thing, mix it and get it to make sense. It was crazy, crazy. But, you know, that was, it was 100% live. That's really was what we were like. And the people who were there that night have never forgot it. And it is, I think it's not big in heavy metal history, but for the people who know that album, it's an important album to them because it is insane.
And we make a time travel now. And we talk a little bit about the song Eating Lies.
Yeah, well, it's part of the trilogy, of the Infinite Entanglement trilogy. And why this song is important is the central character, William Black. He believes that the woman, the doctor, loves him. And he thinks that he is going to be fitted. A spacesuit will be surgically fitted to his body. But when he wakes up, he realizes he has a machine body and they have transferred his mind into a machine against his will. And that is the story of Eating Lies. the memory of the doctor, of his love, and the feeling of betrayal. Everybody lied to him. And that's why it's called Eating Lies. And it begins, well, I was eating their lies. I believed them. And it ends with, I will make them eat their lies.
And here we hear it. Here's Blaze Bayley, Eating Lies.
Try to make me become nothing, torn up into small pieces and torn again. And it was such a simple deception that it made me start eating all of their lies. With a casual non-truth I believed in, they convinced me that all of my dreams were lies. Echoes of a past life that they told me was inspired by the greed of a lonely child. They will try to take my life. I will make them eat their lives. Disgraceful, disgraced and unblemished, why? Selected but the memories excuse you. Every time repeating insults like a child that will never see the world through adult eyes. You were looking down on me with mother's pride. No decency or conscience could trouble you. You'll be choking and then you will see that I am feeding you all of your darkest lies. They will try to take my life. a thing, torn up into small pieces and torn again. And it was such a simple deception that it made me start eating the love that lies.
Fantastic.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, forget about that one. It's really, really cool. Very proud of that. Very, very proud of that song. And what a great video. It's done by Rich, who does all of the videos of that type, and he does the making of videos, Rich Pembridge, and it's just fantastic. He did a wonderful, wonderful job with that video. You know, I look much better on the video than I normally do in real life. So that's always a bonus.
I see even we have some live clips coming up, and I see the chemistry on stage and as a studio is great with your band. So English humor is always a part of this, right?
I'm very lucky. You know, the most important thing is we don't stop and we keep going as long as it takes to get the idea the way we want it. And we work hard at rehearsals as well. And we don't take ourselves too seriously, but we're deadly serious about the music. And that's the most important thing. So trying to perform the absolute best that we can for my fans, that's the most important thing. So that's something that we all feel very strongly about. And I think that's why we get along, is in our hearts, we are all still fans of different bands, and we feel what it is to be a fan. And for me, metal only exists because of loyal fans that support metal bands. Really, it shouldn't exist in the greater scheme of the music business. Like, they keep classical music alive and opera alive and all different things. It's kept alive, but metal really shouldn't exist from the music business side of it. But fans don't let metal go. We keep metal alive because we love metal. We understand the power. When metal is done well, it is the most powerful, wonderful, passionate music that you can experience. And that's why I like it. But it is because of fans. And I try never to forget that. So at every Blaze Bayley concert until now, there has been a free meet and greet so that I can say thank you to my fans for their support.
I have a question here from Mortal. He's one of our co-hosts on Friday, and he has always the insider stuff. And he asked, is it possible to tell something about the conflict we've seen Pack at the Bang Your Head in Ballingen?
Yeah, absolutely. Sean and me are friends now, and it's just simply too much to drink. I mean, I was severely drunk. I think, I would advise everybody watching this to never go into the Jack Daniels tent at a music festival early in the day, which I had. I was on early, and then I went in, and then he said something to me, I said something to him, and the next thing is a big fight. So years later, we just said, well, we're crazy day, and we're friends, and I did a guest appearance on one of his albums. He's a great singer, has a wonderful voice, and he writes some great songs. So it's a weird way to meet. That we had a fight, but now we're friends.
Very cool. So, problem solved. Mortal happy, and now plays Bayley at its best on stage. And I love the energy. I love unbelievable. Lord of the Flies. And after the video, we can talk about this, okay?
Okay.
Yes, Lord of the Flies. I had to cut it down, my friend. I have only 5 minutes. This is always I feel guilty when I cut videos and I go in the music because I hate it. But I have only 5 minutes. I can load up, So, but I think it's okay.
I don't mind. So I think I don't get upset about it. I just think it's interesting. When you say these things are like different versions of things. Yeah, that's it's really cool. A nice version of the song.
Now I got messages from USA asking me, "Oh, I see the interview of Blaze Bayley. Can a US band also be on the show?" I say, "Of course." Hey, Leon, I write you back later. I am busy with Blaze, so I'm sorry I cannot answer you right now. But Blaze, so far so good.
Yeah,
you enjoyed the interview so far?
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's fun to Lord of the Flies. I've done it so many times with so many different bands and different versions of it. and then sometimes it's not in the set list for a while, and then we bring it back, and it's a fun song to do. You know, it's got the format is a little bit different, and it's got a great start, so it's a fun song to do.
This is interesting. This is a compliment now from Ludwig. He finds the Blaze albums better than the new Maiden albums.
Oh, well, that's great. Please tell all your friends.
Yes, please. Let's see. No, we wait a little bit with the Iron Maiden. We have to wait. We are here for you today. So you are the man. You are the main interesting for me. The song Endure and Survive.
Yes.
What is?
It's the title song from the second album on the trilogy. It's Infinite Entanglement, Endure and Survive, and the Redemption of William Black is the final part of the story. So, yeah, it is about enduring and surviving the worst circumstances imaginable in this part of the story. Then the central character, William Black, discovers that he was never meant to get to the new world at the end of the journey. It's a journey of over 1,000 years, and he thinks they tell him that he is going to arrive on the new world and have the spacesuit taken off and he'll have his human body back. He understands that actually he now has a machine body, and then he learns that he's never meant to land on the new planet, and he has to endure and survive all the attempts to get him off the ship, to destroy him. And of course, he has to survive the loneliness and isolation of a long space mission.
You're writing a book, right? You told me?
Yeah, the book is Infinite Entanglement, and the albums come out to about 34 songs, which is the story of William Black and his journey, how he gets on the mission, why he's there, what happens to him, and what happens when he gets to the new world. With those songs, some of them have got a lot in, but there's still a lot of the backstory and things that happen, the reasons that people are there, some of the motivation of the different characters that's just not on the albums. And the songs are in the order that makes the best album. They're not in the order of the story. So I said to Chris Appleton, you will have the final say, because if I put the songs in the order of the story, it's just not a very interesting album, because, you know, all the slow songs are together, all the fast songs together. So Chris put all of those songs in the order that would make to him the most sense for the album. And I just said, okay, well, if that's what you think. And it's 3 really good albums. It's my biggest achievement, my greatest achievement in my musical career is the Infinite Entanglement trilogy. And I started with this idea, and we wrote a song. Me and my friend Rick Plester wrote a song years ago called Eating Children, and it was about escaping the Earth and finding a new planet. And who would be the people on that spaceship? Well, it probably wouldn't be the heavy metal singers. It would be the billionaires, because they could afford to be there. They would buy their ticket. So from that idea of that song, then I had the idea for the story of William Black and Infinite Entanglement. And when it came to start writing a new album, I had no proper lyrics. All I had was this odd bits of ideas that I was thinking about putting in this book. And when we tried them, they all made sense as lyrics. And then the whole thing started to take off. So Calling You Home was one of the first songs that we did. And that is about being in the spaceship and realizing that you're leaving the solar system. And actually, it's not a place that is home. What is home is a person.
Somebody asked me to translate. This is too much to translate now. I'm sorry. This would be killed the interview if I start now to translate this, because great story. Hopefully you get it a little bit, Stefan. And here's the song, Endure and Survive. Plays Bayley.
Demands and expects you to let go of everything you have lived for. He plans to obliterate any trace of your existence, make you disappear. So you are faced with the fight of your life. It's a fight that you can't let them win by sheer force of will. Get back on your feet. Stand up, you're not dead. Endure and survive. Will you die alone on this ship out here in space, or will you find a way to live? Can you defend yourself against the madness you feel will take over your mind? Will you give in to thoughts of defeat and despair that try to overwhelm you by sheer force of will? Get back on your feet. Stand up, you're not dead. Endure and survive.
The new world is waiting for the chosen ones. When the undermission's tasks are complete, William Black will no longer be required. He must never touch that new Eden. In that place, my genetically perfect human beings will thrive. All indigenous threats will be eliminated, and our chosen few will hold dominion over that world.
Yeah. Blaze, it's time. Back
Okay.
to the beginning. And now it's time to talk about where the magic happens.
Yeah.
Can you bring us back to the moment when you got the call, or how it happens, how you enter the world of Iron Maiden?
Well, a lot of people auditioned for Iron Maiden, and I was lucky enough to get an audition too. And I never thought that I would get the job because my voice was so different to Bruce. I mean, there are a couple of similarities in different places, but really my voice is very different to Bruce Dickinson. He's a wonderful, wonderful singer, a legend, someone who is important, not just in heavy metal, but in popular music and pop culture, the things that he's sung and the things that he's done. So I thought, I'm so different to Bruce. They're never going to get me. And
What?
I think they wanted something different, because when we did the X Factor, it was very different to Fear of the Dark and No Prayer for the Dying. And it seemed to mark the beginning of the progressive era of Iron Maiden music. And the album opened in a very different way to other albums that Maiden had done, with, you know, a big build-up of Sign of the Cross and everything. So I didn't really think they would get it. I think they wanted something different. And I got a phone call to say, you've got it, you know, a few weeks after the audition, you've got it, come to a meeting and we'll sort everything out. So it was a really great, happy time, but also I was shocked because I never expected to get it. You know, I really thought, well, I'm not going to question it and say, I didn't say, are you sure? But I thought, well, I'm glad they've decided it's me. So, but they could have had anybody they wanted. Anybody they wanted.
I had three colleagues here from you. David Rees, Enter the World of Accept. Ronnie Romero, Enter the World of Rainbow. Gus G, World of Ozzy Osbourne, and they're all, or Ryan Roxy, Alice Cooper. There are 4 of them already here in the show, and they all tell me the same story. It's like disbelief. Was it like for you too? When you saw the first time, you shook hands with Steve Harris and the blokes. How was it for you? It was like, oh.
Well, I think the biggest one is the first rehearsal. And, you know, being in the room and working on new material, that was just mind-blowing, really. Absolutely mind-blowing. That, you know, there you are with Nico McBrain, Dave Murray, Steve Harris, and Yannick Gerson. When they start playing, when Dave Murray starts playing, it can't be anybody else. It sounds like Dave Murray, but you're there in the room, not listening to a record or watching a concert. You're there in the room, and it sounds like, and Nico McBrain, he hasn't got his massive drum kit, but he's got a substantial drum kit, and it sounds like Nico McBrain, but you're in the room with him. You're in a rehearsal room with Nico McBrain doing all these fills, and it's like, wow. And the same with Steve and Yannick, you know. So that was it, really, that first rehearsal where everybody's a bit louder and we're starting to get the songs together and rehearse them. That was the one that was mind-bending.
And how was the first show? You remember? The first show with Iron Maiden?
I think we were in Bethlehem, and it was very cool singing Number of the Beast. And they were actually, it was just a small venue. We did small venues in Israel. Well, we did 2 smaller venues in Israel and then 1 big theatre in Tel Aviv. And it was very cool to sing Number of the Beast in Bethlehem. That was cool. And I think, you know, it was a challenge, but it was very, very exciting. I loved those old songs, and I really wanted to breathe new life into the old songs, you know. So I went back and listened to the original studio recordings, and I listened to what Bruce had done live, and I tried to find my own path and my own way in to the old songs so that I would give them a bit of a fresh feeling, because fans had heard them for so many years, and I wanted to kind of make them feel a bit fresh. And that's what I did with all of the older songs. So, yeah, we started in Israel, and we gradually came through. You know, it was, it was big, man. It was a big 9-month tour. And unfortunately, what happened towards the middle of it, we started off, it was bright sunshine, so hot in Israel. And a little bit later, it was winter everywhere that we went. And in New York, it was a snowstorm. You know, everywhere we went, you know, all across Eastern Europe, we were kind of following winter everywhere. And we got to Florida in USA. And I thought, oh, great. Florida, warm sunshine. Yeah, it was warm sunshine. It was Daytona Bike Week, and I'm a motorcycle nut. So I was, this is great. There was no day off and no time off at all in Florida. And we were carried on, and then we're back in the winter again somewhere else. So, yeah, it was a crazy tour, but a wonderful experience, you know.
I chose a song which, in my opinion, one of the best song introduction ever. And that told you, and you know what I mean. It's this introduction for Virus. And I love the way how you speak to your audience. Here is Bayley on Virus.
Back to the best of the Beast album. They will tell you that you are not good enough. They will tell you that your dreams are stupid. That's what they told me. I am living my dream right now. Your dream is important to me. You believed in me and supported me. You are important to me. So when they tell you that it is impossible, tell them Bayley said, I can do it. Don't let them infect you with the virus. There's an evil virus threatening mankind. Not state of the art, a serious state of the mind. Muggers, backstabbers, two-faced elite, a menace to society, a social disease. Rape of the mind is a social disorder. you're sneering at life's disarray, eating away at your own self-esteem, bouncing on every word that you might be saying. Wake up, the mind is a social disorder, saying it's the outlet, even the principle, superficially smiling, a shake of the hand. As soon as the back is turned, treachery is planned. Jealousy and hate, while the acid wet and rain you love. And every time you think you're safe, and when you go to turn away, you know the sharp thing all the baby love. All in your mind, all in your head, try to relate it. All in your mind, all in your head, try to escape it. Without a conscience they destroy, and that's the thing that they enjoy. There is sickness that's in all our minds. They wanna sink that shit and leave, but when you laugh at you and me, you know what's happening up ahead. All in your mind, all in your head, try to relate it. Oh yeah. Watching beginnings of social decay.
I hate to cut, but I had to do it.
Yeah, well, that's my own version of Virus. We did that for the Best of the Beast album as a special track to go with it, and we never performed that live in Maiden. And you know, after then, I thought I really liked the song, but I wanted to do my own version of it. And so I did a little bit of rearrangement with it, and it's more or less been in the set list since I left, you know, and with various lineups, it sounded a little bit different. But Chris Appleton and Carl Schramm and Martin McNee, we've developed a very close bond on stage. And so that intro can go on for a long time, and it can just be there. And so it can in the middle as well. The middle can go on for quite a long time until we all decide, yeah, we'll start, we'll get to the end now. And very interesting, but it's something that I've also taken into the other Iron Maiden songs that I occasionally put in my set list. I don't try and copy what I did back then. I do the Blaze Bayley version of those songs. And really, I feel like Virus has become one of my own songs. And what's really, really cool is you go to some places and fans hear the intro and they hear the song and they start to realize it's the first time they've ever heard it live. And that's very, very cool.
You see, I just see this let's see, who was it? Melanie Segert. She said, I told my boss what Blaze Bayley said the day after the show, but he said he doesn't care. You see?
Yeah.
Your words affect them so much they tell the boss, place Bayley said.
Yeah.
And I love this. You could be a preacher, you know, a metal preacher.
Sometimes I'm very bad that I actually tell people that they can have a day off. And I say, right, you're so good. My fans are so good that you can all have a day off tomorrow. And if your boss has got a problem with that, tell him to call me.
You see, Melanie says 8 hours to come to the show.
Yeah, it was a cool show. It was really 2 really good nights. It was. That was 2 nights there.
And Ludwig was there too.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Must be like this. Melodra, BRNO.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. The
so this is amazing. If you know, I choose videos and I it's not so easy because you have such a repertoire. You know, damn, you know what song fits to the and then people are in the show actually. So my audience were there.
Yeah.
Great. No, I will jump ahead. No, the next clip I have, it's we talked about before. This is in Chile. What's happened in Chile? I never saw I never saw Steve Harris so angry. Plus you, and that's why I chose. And I'm thankful that you allowed me to play this track. But what's happened in this?
Well,
mayhem?
Iron Maiden were banned from Chile because the Catholic Church misunderstood Iron Maiden. They thought that Iron Maiden worshipped the devil and were a satanic band because of different songs, in particular Number of the Beast, whereas Number of the Beast is actually about a dream, and it is not about, and it's fear of the devil. It's not actually worshipping at all. So it was completely wrong. But anyway, there was this misunderstanding. Iron Maiden were banned from Chile. And in the meantime, Black Sabbath had gone to Chile, Bon Jovi went to Chile, Metallica went to Chile, Sabbath, all of the other big bands went to Chile while Maiden was still banned. Then, 20 years later, for the very first time, Maiden can play Chile, and I am the lead singer of the band. Fantastic experience. And we were backstage, and it is, now I can feel the goosebumps, it is the loudest, most incredible sound when the lights went down in Chile. The sound that the fans made. Some people that had been waiting 20 years to see Maiden, that were huge fans, now it was going to happen. And we went on stage and started doing our normal thing, you know, getting up the front and really going for it. And I looked over at Dave Murray and I thought, what's wrong with Dave? He's not, you know, he's not going for it like he usually does. I looked over at Yannick and he was kind of stepping back a bit. And then I looked down and there's a group of about 6 people that are spitting at Dave Murray on that side of the stage. And what was really annoying to me was that meant we couldn't do our full show because you're worried about hepatitis and all kinds of things. And it's absolutely disgusting. And it's a huge insult in my culture where I'm from. If you spit at somebody deliberately, it's war, mate. It's that's it, man. The next stop is the police station or the hospital. That's it. And what really got me angry was that these 6 people that were spitting were spoiling the show for 10,000 people that were there that night. in the hall that had been waiting for that show, and any one of them would have given their right arm to be down on the front row. And these people on the front row were so disrespectful, not just to the band, but what's worse, they disrespected every other fan in the room. And I thought that made me angry. There's all these wonderful fans that have waited so long to see us, and now we can't do a normal Iron Maiden show because of these idiots. So that was it. I stopped the show and I went over and I started talking to them. And basically, I'm not proud of it. I lost my temper and I was ready to go in and fight those 6 people. And Steve Harris was with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the security managed to find them, get rid of them, and then we were able to carry on and do the kind of show that Iron Maiden is famous for, with a lot of energy, a lot down the front, connecting with the fans, and that was it. Unfortunately, the clip that gets shown is only that big, so you don't know why I've lost my temper. You don't know that people were spitting at us. You don't know that Dave Murray had to stand right far back next to his amp because he couldn't get to the front because I was spitting, or Yannick was staying on that. You don't know any of that. And it's been going on for 3 songs. So the whole gig was filmed by Chilean TV. And you can see the full gig online somewhere. I don't know where. And
I found it.
Yeah, that was why I lost my temper. Yes, that's not good. But the thing that got me most was the disrespect of the fans. That's what got me most. That these people disrespected every other fan in the room that had been waiting so long to see Iron Maiden.
And now we play the track. Hopefully it goes through because it's from a TV. I don't know. We try. But now you see angry Steve Harris and a very angry Blaze Bayley. Here we go. And that's the only Iron Maiden song I play today. This is Iron Maiden, Running Free.
I fucking told you! I fucking told you! Right, I fucking told you! Can you see who it fucking is? Get him! Fucking get him! Can you see him? Can you see? Kill him! Fucking get him! Get him! Fucking get him! What? You fucking at it! Here he is! He's the fucker that's gonna do! Fucking kill him! Hey, come on! I'm fucking killing myself! Fuck off! Fuck off! You fucking motherfucker! I'll fucking kill you! Anyone else? Anyone else? I fucking come on! Let's go!
I would handle it totally different now. But yeah, I'm not proud of losing my temper. I don't think violence is a solution for everything, but that's the story. I lost my temper because I felt that those people were insulting all of the other fans in the building. So that was it. But, you know, I'm not proud of it, but that's what happened.
Clayster wrote, at Burfest, a guy in front of me at the front got kicked out for messing around with Blaze notes he has at the front.
This is
I ended up right.
I mean, that guy had plenty of chances there at Burfest, but there you go again. He was really drunk, and he was pulling the set lists off the stage and pulling the notes. Basically, he was being very disrespectful to all of the fans in the show because he was affecting the performance that I was able to do. I normally get right up on the edge of the stage. Right, we have a position that we call man on the edge. And that means you get up right to the edge of the stage and you put your foot over the edge of the stage like this, and you stay there and you look at the other guys and no one can move, because if you move, that's it. Everyone is going to get you after the show. And we call it manner. So if somebody goes up and puts the toe over the edge of the stage, the other guys do it as well. It's, oh, no. And you go, no, not man on the edge. And it's just a little thing that we do between us. And this guy kept going and grabbing the feet and grabbing the lyrics. Oh, man, it was shocking. And I said to the security, I think that guy's drunk. And he tried to steal the lyrics and everything. And he's like, well, what are you doing? You're at the front. And he was like going like this, hurting fans behind him. Well, there's just no need for it. It was very, very disrespectful to all of the other fans. And that gig was sold out, right? So that was full at the front. And you've got one drunk, ignorant person at the front spoiling the show for everybody else.
I had in the 90s experience in a big bike event, and I was a singer as well. And there was a guy, he always gave me the finger all the time. And I got annoyed by this idiot. And then he was a big guy, and I was on stage, you know, and I had my mic stand. I turned around and poof, zack in the face, and then over. No tease, I guess. Fuck him, you know. But yeah, I had my crew.
I just, you know, I don't like it. For me, there are a couple.
And here's the guy. Here's the guy behind him. He was a right asshole. Was getting on my nerves. You see?
I mean, it was totally unfair. And then he was wondering why they were taking him out. He had lots of opportunities, lots of warnings, and then they were great there. The security at the show were absolutely great. You know, they were great with me. They were really on the ball. They were looking at everybody, looking after it. So there was no. That's it. He had fair warning. And then he got kicked out. But I really don't enjoy it when one or two people really hurt the show and affect the show for other fans. And I've had problems at the front before, and really long-time loyal fans have been hurt by idiots. And there was one guy that ran onto the stage, a really big guy, like two meters something, ran onto the stage and jumped off and kicked one of my female fans in the face and gave her a concussion.
Oh.
Now, is that right? I didn't ask him to be on stage. Why is he on stage? Why does he feel he's got to... That he's able to kick one of my fans in the face? It's absolutely shocking. It's not it's happened several times. So you know, I don't feel sorry for that guy at all that got kicked out. As far as I'm concerned, it's just making a better show for the rest of us if all the articles get kicked
you know what
out.
is amazing today? I never happened before. This is the first time in my interviews that so many people are here who went to the shows and the videos are the same, you know, the same show and the same experience. And Sandra, she said, remember that after he got kicked out, it was much better. It was really enjoyed the great show. So amazing. Thank you, Sandra, for the
it was good.
Of the fans, you know.
That was a horrible part of it, but we didn't let it spoil the show. You know, we just kept going, and it was a good show, man. We loved it. Sold out, 500 people, everybody singing along, great sound, great light. It was just fantastic. I had time to do the meet and greet before the show as well. So it was a really great day. And that was one of the last shows ever in Europe. That's one of the last live gigs ever in Europe. And, we'll see what happens. But for it to be the last one, it was a good one. What
we didn't discuss was your departure from Iron Maiden.
Yeah,
you had it in your mind that Bruce might coming back, or how was it for you?
No. What was happening at the time? EMI had sold all of their manufacturing plants. They thought that MP3 was the future. The amount of money that an artist gets off MP3 is less than 10% of what it is from a CD. So it meant all artists would struggle, all record companies would struggle, and it was grunge. And, you know, when I was in Maiden for those 5 years, it's not that long, but that was the height of grunge. Man, those guys in grunge, they never wanted anything to do with traditional metal, and they slagged us off all of the time. And, you know, they're really miserable. And there we are in Wolfsbane and in Maiden. There we are going for it, trying to do something good. And all those grunge people think that they're going to last forever. Well, metal is forever, not grunge. And, you know,
metal is forever, exactly.
Yeah, not grunge, man. So we fought our way through that. When I was in Maiden, we did a gig in the heartland of the enemy, Seattle, right? We did a gig in Seattle. It was horrible. It was probably the worst Maiden gig while I was in the band. There's a few hardcore fans there and a lot of people. I thought, why are they here? They hate us. They're here as if we're a dinosaur in a zoo, you know. And you think, what is it? There's a few fans there, really normal, cool fans, and then a lot of these grunge type people. I don't know why they were even there. Oh man, it was horrible, absolutely horrible. But we got through it, and we survived grunge. And Bruce came back. He needed to come back to the band. They had to have a reunion. Black Sabbath had a reunion. Deep Purple had a reunion. Judas Priest had a reunion. The record company thought that this was the best way for Iron Maiden to continue. And that's what happened. I was treated very, very well. And of course, it gave me this magnificent opportunity to start my solo career. And I had a lot of confidence because I'd worked with the guys in Maiden. I'd written songs with them. I had a top 10 hit with Man on the Edge. And I had songs on my dictaphone, ideas for songs, which you will understand this, where I was thinking, this will be a great song to work with Steve. This will be a great idea to work with Dave Murray and all of that. But then it was over. So I took those ideas that I had and I used them on my Silicon Messiah album. And the album was a success with the critics. I got good reviews from the critics, but commercially, it was a complete failure. Nobody was interested in my solo album. Maiden had the reunion and all of that. There was no touring. The people that were the management that I had at the time, they didn't organize any touring to go with the release of the album. And then for my second album, 10th Dimension, it was the same. They confused the release date. They didn't support us. We did get a bit of touring with that one, supporting Halloween. And it was just difficult. That album was a commercial failure as well. And really, that's how it went. I was struggling for years. I kept making albums. It was difficult to keep a band together. And now I have a really, really cool manager that takes care of business for me. I can just concentrate on writing songs and being creative. And I have a great team of musicians with Chris Appleton and his Absolver band. And often Luke Appleton helps out as well. So I have the wonderful people that run my Blaze Bayley web shop and my website, Marcus and Lynn. So I'm very, very lucky. I have Rich Pembridge that does my videos and helps me with everything like that. I'm really lucky to be in such a great place. But the thing that makes it better than it has ever been is that I'm closer to my fans now and nothing gets in the way. I'm independent. My fans make it possible for me to write and perform and make new albums. And I have my fans, and many of them I'm on first name terms with, in my mind as I'm writing, as I'm making the album, when I'm producing the album, I'm thinking about them. And that's how it goes for me. So I'm very,
and the fans feel this
lucky.
place.
I'm very lucky.
What I read here with all the comments, the fans get it. The fans, you sing yourself in their heart. I want to say thank you to Mark, your manager, who set up the interview. Was very, very good. Blaze, thank you so much.
Well, don't say too many nice things about him because I'll have to start paying him proper money.
Pay more money.
Don't say too many nice things. He'll ask for more money.
No, he was great. Thank you, Mark.
I'm very lucky, man.
If you're watching right now, Mark, thank you so much.
It was perfectly done.
It was absolute professional and on time and everything perfect. Blaze, it's time to kick you out with your own song. What do you say about it?
Okay,
Is
great.
it good by you?
Yeah, it's good. Thanks for having me on, Richie.
I choose a song with a very, very good message. And the song is Praying for I don't know what Prayers of Light.
Yeah, this is about salvation. This is about finding your own salvation, finding a positive way forward, and not being chained to the past.
You are definitely not chained to the past, my friend.
Thank you.
You said it right on. I'm living my dream right now. This is the best thing what you said. That's when Blaze Bayley is not in the past. Mourning. Oh, I wasn't Maiden. No, you are a legend.
I'm very lucky.
Because you are one.
I'm very lucky. Thanks, Richie.
Blaze Bayley, thanks so much. It was a pleasure to talk to you. And the last what I can do for you, I play you a fantastic song. prayers of light. Good luck to you.
Cheers,
Stay
mate.
heavy.
Thanks.
And you said it before, metal is forever. On your gravestone, if possible. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
You can't see it, but you can feel it. You can't understand it, but you can know it. It can touch you. It can change you. It can heal you, if you believe.
All of us could die today, you know that's just a fact. Don't give your life easily, there is no going back. Remember why you're fighting and just try to keep your head. If your brother falls, then shout, stand up, you're not dead. Your prayers of light have saved my life. Your prayers of light, they made me believe that I could stand again and fight. They have no compassion, empathy, or sympathy. Every one of us they will feed into their machine. We are all in pain and we are fighting for our life. Pain tells you that you're alive. You are still in the fight. Your prayers of light have saved my life. Your prayers of light, they made me believe that I could stand again. Now we stand and fight. 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 I am not as I was. From darkness I have come. Against angels of gold, I now stand with you all. Your prayers of light have saved my life. Your prayers of light, they made me believe that I could stand again. Your prayers of light have saved my life. Your prayers of light, they made me believe that I could stand again. Now we stand and fight. Now we stand and fight. Now we stand and fight. Now we stand and fight.
Yeah, that was Blaze Bayley. Fantastic interview. Thank you, Blaze. You're a legend. And I mean it. Great interview. So, liebe Freunde, wir kommen auch langsam zur Sendung, also Ende der Sendung. Danke, dass ihr so lange dabei wart. Und ein, zwei Songs spiele ich jetzt noch. Und ein alter Freund mittlerweile, mit dem ich jetzt schon privat immer schreibe, ist ja, der Hermann Frank. Und der soll langsam das Ende der Sendung einläuten. Here is Running Back. Hermann Frank, Running Back. Jawohl. Ja, ihr da draußen, gute Nacht zusammen. Ne? Einen Song habe ich noch. Ein Betthupferl habe ich jetzt noch für euch. Jawohl. Und nach dem Song ist auch dann Schluss. Und mein Rauschmeister heute ist Mob Rules mit Lost. Geiles Video. Mob Rules Lost. So, liebe Freunde, das hat's gewesen. Ich hoffe, es hat euch genauso Spaß gemacht wie mir. Natürlich eine Legende wie Bayley hier zu haben, ist schon was Besonderes. Und ich hatte jetzt Glück, ja, mit ihm 3 Stunden davor schon so quatschen. Und da hat er schon alles erzählt. Der Wahnsinn. Der ist so cool. Das sind die Echten. Das sind die Echten, wenn er sagt, ich lebe meinen Traum hier, jetzt. Ja, nicht in der Vergangenheit. Nach vorne schauen und der macht's richtig. Bayley, eine Legende. Ich bleib dabei. Und danke, ich habe schon den nächsten Kaffee bekommen und wer noch einen Kaffee ausgeben will, über PayPal könnt ihr bezahlen. Danke euch und ja, morgen in eine ganz andere Richtung. Morgen wird es ein bisschen verrückter. Morgen die Pussy Sisters sind da, morgen. Jawohl. Die habt ihr auch schon im Fernsehen gesehen. Gut, bei Deutschland waren sie. Dann Peter Box sind sie auch gerade dann. Also ganz coole Jungs, auf die freue ich mich morgen. Ein bisschen klemmmäßig. Die ganze Woche wird cool. Jeden Tag was anderes. Sehr, sehr cool. So, das war's gewesen. Show Nummer 42 ist im Kasten. Dankeschön. Einschalten. Wer Lust hat, morgen früh um 8 Uhr bin ich wieder am Start mit der Morgen Rock Show. Und da will ich mal sagen, das letzte Wort haben meine Sponsoren. Jawohl. Und im Metal, we trust, united, we stand. Metal is forever. Bayley hat's gesagt. Ciao, gute Nacht. Die Metal is Forever Rockcast Show wird präsentiert von der Vegan Ashes of Rock'n'Roll. Veganer Lifestyle ist lebendiger Rock'n'Roll. Wir sind Rebellen, wir sind Veganer. Wir lieben das Leben und leben es mit jeder Menge Spaß. Power Concerts Burg Lengenfeld. Wenn es um Konzerte geht, dann Power Concerts. Karten gibt's an allen bekannten Vorverkaufsstellen. Fliesenspitzner, die zuverlässige Handwerker für alle Aufgaben rund um das Verlegen von Fliesen, Platten, Mosaik und Naturstein. Schwammerhandler, Fanshop, Store and More, das aus dem Bayerischen Wald. Dezihell, Business Clothes for Rockers. Kein Fest ohne eine leckere Sposau. Deshalb, wenn es um Sposau geht, dann Hacks Sposau Grillerei. Wenn es um Cargo geht, dann Seidel Cargo, denn wir fahren auch Metal. Crazy Stuff Tattoo in Schwandorf, Tätowierer aus Leidenschaft. Dein Tattoo-Studio in privater Atmosphäre und für individuelle Tattoos. Luftraum Fürstenfeldbruck, die Rock- und Metal-Kneipe. Jede Woche von Donnerstag bis Samstag Rock und Metal vom Feinsten. Rock of Angels Records, von Metal-Fans für Metal-Fans. The home of Rock and Metal. Roar!